So 2 and 5. Well, isn't that interesting? I think it could be that, but there's something else equally. Okay, so see the 2 of Pentacles? I feel like that could be one of the things, but it's not the only thing. Okay, there's other things contributing to it. Okay, and then here we've got 5 and 5. So there's other things contributing. So I feel like SIDS is not entirely due to vaxes. I'd go even half and half, maybe. Maybe it really uh, stepped up the SIDS deaths, because 2 5s after that, we got half and half. And this card can be a half and half card. So I'd say 50%, not 99%, like they're saying. And there's something else taking them off. It's the thing they kind of, what I understood SIDS was when I was young and first heard about it, and it was horrifying to me to hear about these babies just leaving, is that my understanding spiritually was the soul, like the self just wasn't going to stick around. It was like, okay, the experience of birthing, and that's all I was doing here. I got to go, maybe for some lesson around what the parents were learning, or one of the parents were learning, or the child themselves wanted the physical experience, and that's the only part of it they wanted, of birthing, because souls are curious energies and they want to experience every single thing. So some energies, souls, choose to just come for very short times, and we might not understand it, but maybe they literally needed to be in the womb for that experience, and then the rest of it they didn't sign up for. That's what that indicates. Okay, but this says maybe half of it is. So the 2, I'd say some of it is that, absolutely, and others is the experience that I originally, my higher self told me, was these children leave because they didn't sign up past a certain point. Oh, isn't that interesting? But it did bring a lot of deaths, the vaxes, but not as much as they say. 99. No, it's not that. So that is surprising to me and very interesting. Okay, and I'd say within 10 days of a vax, you would likely, if it was going to be a vax related, you'll see a sudden passing, and heart related too. So even though they're saying the child just died quietly in its sleep, I actually get it's heart related. So if they did an autopsy, which I doubt they do, they just assume things about it, they would have, I think that the ones that are actually dying from the vax injuries are heart related, and the other ones that do just slip quietly is the soul leaving. Wow. Okay. So I think they need to do more investigating each time they come across a sudden infant death. I think they need to really investigate it. Okay. So isn't that interesting? So now that we know that at least it looks like half are created, or that really ups it by half, I think we really need to ask, when are they going to ban this practice? Okay, this infant vaccine practice, when we know, even from the mouths of doctors, that it is actually absolutely unnecessary to vaccinate infants. Let's have a look. Looks like they're already planning it in the background. They're just educating people. I think that's what RFK is, educating. He's a big educator. I got that a long time ago, even before he joined Trump's team. I was getting that he was going to educate people in health, and it looks like he's doing just that. So I feel like they got more education, in particular to the mothers or parents or those nurturing those children. They really need to educate them. It needs to come from the parents themselves. Need to reject it. They need to see the parents rejecting it. Like this has to be embedded in them. They can't just be told more rules. Oh, now we're not going to vaccinate, because then you could have a whole bunch of people that actually believe you're harming their child by not vaccinating. They have to know in their heart that it's a good idea and step away from the practice themselves or make that choice. So more parents have to make the choice to not vaccinate or understand why that's a good idea, as opposed to just making it okay, stopping it, because they have to educate more people so the people know why they're doing it, and even appreciate that they're doing it, and even decide for themselves to take their child off of that roster. Wow. All right. So we got a ways. That's why this has taken so long, you guys. Spiritually, you can't just, like, we've been brainwashed. Okay, so you can't just now make a bunch of rules that are the opposite of what the deep state's been doing to us for your good, and believe, and the normies are going to believe, or the people that aren't paying attention are going to believe those are for their good. They'll actually see it as the government is harming them, even though it's quite the other way around. Like, these people have to learn for themselves and make conscious choices as souls. That's part of our mission here, is to evolve and learn. And we can't just be told what to do. It doesn't work like that. It has to be a free will thing. Okay, so let's have a look at, now my third one is very interesting. So I put up a video. It was a Mark Atwood. You guys know I'm going to see him soon. Actually, I'm going to see some other truthers. We're going to be in Ireland, sort of mid-September. I'm pretty excited about that. Looking really forward. So I'll be like 10 days away. 6 of those days I'll be in Ireland. And some of those days I'll be traveling to Vancouver, and then I have to go to Ireland from there, and then traveling back. So there's some disruption going to happen, but we'll work around it, guys, on the channel and or on the website. Anyway, I put this video up, and it's Laura Eisenhower's being chatted, like Mark Atwood's chatting with Laura Eisenhower, and actually one of the first things that really started me on this path. Like, there was several videos that I came across, and but shout out to, and I have shouted this out before, to one that Laura put out early days in the pandemic, where she names the deep state, the dark cult, and says, you will stop all the things you've been doing. We won't be enslaved by you anymore. All of this stuff. Like, do you guys remember that one? It was really early days in the pandemic. I think it was 2020. She put it out, and it was incredible. And she was very passionate and just talking directly to the dark cult and the dark ones and the overlords. And it really put it in perspective for me, because it was hard to put in perspective at that time. Who was doing this to us? Was it just the government? No, it was way bigger than that. It was way bigger. And she put that in perspective for me. So when you watch this, and I know she's had her issues, a lot of people might say, oh, well, she's had addiction issues. She talks about that in the video. She suffered with those kind of things, but it doesn't take away from how much incredible work that woman has done for this community, and really could have even been one of the most original truthers, at least in the pandemic times. And I know she's been truthing for a lot longer than that, and so have a lot of people. But she was really, like, kind of started what is now known as our truther community, I believe, in my opinion. Okay, so I have a lot of respect for Laura Eisenhower. So what I want to know is, so she does say in the video, and I hope you go watch it if you haven't already, she does mention that her grandfather, Eisenhower, what's his name? Dwight Eisenhower. So he was the, 34th president, okay, of the United States. So she says a few interesting things. And one of the first things she says is that he was the last president of the United States to not be placed by the deep state. And after him, they were all placed by the deep state. So before him, it was a hit and miss who was getting in there. And maybe some of them were deep state, but they weren't placed. The deep state didn't have their hands in it as much as they did after him. Okay, so, and also she understands that he was largely used, but then figured out he was being used And his parting speech, and you can look that up, really does shout out a lot of things that have come to pass and that are still happening. And so he could even be thought of as a whistleblower. But she also says, so I want to ask, was he the last? First of all, was he not deep state to begin with, like coming from a family, one of the bloodline? She says she's not from a bloodline family, and neither was he. Okay, and so we're going to look at that, and then we're going to look at was he in fact somebody who sat down with the original white hat Q? So according to her, he worked with hang on, what's that guy's name? That's it. Valiant Thor. Sorry, Valiant Thor. And Valiant Thor was a Venetian. And what I mean by that is from Venus. So he was an alien entity coming in a human form and it's interesting because they made him a really good looking guy, so that makes sense to me coming from Venus. Okay. And he came and worked in the Pentagon and worked with, politics and politicians then to try to get the good aliens having more influence than the reptilian aliens and the Greys. So the bad Greys were really trying to take hold, and Valiant Thor. And so I'm really summing it up. There's way more to it, and you can go look this guy up. We don't have time to look it all up, but he warned a lot of people, and he worked supposedly with the original White Hat Alliance. Maybe he was one of the original Alliance. He could have even been the original Q, okay, or he would know of Q, and he might even still be working with them. Okay, so she says that her grandfather worked together with this guy and was in on the original White Hat Alliance and Q information. So we're going to ask if that's true. And first, we're going to start with, was he the last president? Like, was he in fact not a bloodline family, like she says, and just came to it just, from his own wits, and was actually voted in and not just assigned like the rest after him? Let's have a look. So we're talking about Dwight Eisenhower, bloodline, family ties, or not. Because maybe she doesn't know, for all we know. Now, I really like her, so I'm not trying to disempower her words. I'm just looking at the cards, checking these things out because it's fascinating. And what she's claiming is huge. It's huge. It means before Eisenhower and up into him, the deep state didn't have their hands in it. And I've always thought they would have from the very beginning or onset of politics, but maybe that's not true. And I like learning new things. Okay, so I'm not getting any deep state affiliations. He's not coming from deep state. In fact, he's coming from a mixed bag of tricks and maybe even kind of a dysfunctional family. And I'm not trying to offend Laura Eisenhower in any way. Most of us are coming from dysfunctional families, mine included, right? I'd say most of us have that, right? Just a total mixed bag of tricks here, but nothing formally organized and deep state related or 13 bloodline, none of that. So no, he was not that. And he even got into it looking like he wanted to do good. So he wanted to do good, but I feel like a lot of people around him were compromised. So he probably on his team, he might have not known this, but he had a lot of deep staters. So they were already encroaching and trying to get in there. He might not have known that. It looks like he didn't know it, at least going in, but then he became aware of it. So by the time he ended, he knew all the stuff that was going. He went to his grave, it looks like, knowing a lot of dark secrets, and it was a real burden on him, it looks like. And here we've got the hanged man. So he, for the sake of humanity, I think, kept it. He said as much as he could, I feel like, but he felt like he couldn't say it all, everything he knew, but it looks like he knew a lot. He was read in on a lot of this, or figured it out the hard way, that, deep state going forward was going to have their fingers all over everything. And and he as much as warned everybody, using some code, but as being as direct as he could in a big speech of his that's quite well known. But here we've got that. Yeah, it was really burdensome for him. But she's right about what she says about him. He's not from a deep state family. Doesn't look like the Eisenhowers are affiliated with the cult. Okay, let's have a look. Now the second part of this. Okay, so Valiant Thor and Eisenhower and some people working for the good of humanity. Did they start the Q movement, have things to do with the Q? Was Eisenhower in on that original sort of, and I think white hats were around even before that, and maybe, well, the Alliance has been around since the beginning of humanity is what I figure, because there's a spiritual entity, and it's really ourselves and our knowing. Yeah, it's like our higher selves. It's a representation of our higher self. That's what I read. It's a spiritual energy, the Alliance, okay, coming maybe as a spiritual voice in the whole situation, guiding. And then, of course, there's literal people in the white hats, like that are actual humans living right now. But I feel like the Alliance could be spiritual knowledge and a connectedness to that. And I sometimes talk about it like it's energies that came back to help us, but it could be in the form of being channeled. Yeah. So anyway, it's I don't know exactly what it is, but I know that they're for the good of humanity, and they've lived all the timelines likely, and they know what's coming and what we're going through, and that's why they're helping us. So there's a lot of ways you could talk about that. But let's see if Eisenhower had to do with that. So he did have contact with the White Hats. They were a bigger organization than he even knew about. So he was in on some of it, okay, but not all of it. They kept him out of some of it. So he wouldn't have been in on a lot of it, but he was definitely read in to some degree. Okay, so that's a soft yes. He was read in to some degree, and not to the degree that, say, Trump is. So Trump's read in and was sat down and had a lot more input, but he definitely was read in to some degree. And he knew about what was happening to children. By the Greys, and like a lot of the children being abducted and or lost, okay, and even birthed just for the purpose of sacrifices, and adrenochrome are taken, like adrenochrome's largely taken off planet and or other dimensionally by these, or maybe even underground or under the ocean. We're not sure exactly how it works, but by these reptilians and these bad energies that could be considered alien or ETs, or certainly alien to how we think and operate as good people. Anyway, wow. Okay. So yeah, she's absolutely right. Yep. And that just makes sense because yeah, I get a good feeling about her. All right, let's move on. Now let's look at the Royal Commission being held in New Zealand right now, all looking at the COVID scam, which is brilliant that they're having, it's an inquiry into the COVID-19 response. Okay. And this person that person we just saw there in the picture has obviously been proven, in my opinion, and according to the cards, to be a total fraud as a leader. Okay. And not even the sex they present. Okay. So they're totally lying to you about, so they don't even present themselves as a trans person. Okay. Which would be fair. And like you could deal with them. Okay. They're a trans person. Okay. So they're being at least honest. No, they're actually full on pretending to be a female, which is very offensive to me. Incredibly offensive. These people walking around pretending to be women when they're not. Okay. So call themselves what they are. You know what I'm saying? It's just so offensive. But anyway, and especially leaders when they're doing it, it's offensive, not because I dislike trans, okay, but because I know it's an agenda, okay, so people that are calling them going that whole route, probably need to look at their mental health maybe, and really look at how indoctrined they are. Very likely fallen for some big agendas. Okay, but lots of us have. Okay, and that'll be their lesson to figure out in karma. Okay, but I'm telling you, it's not because I'm against trans per se. It's because they're lying to you to get into office. If they would have presented as a trans person getting into office and then they got in, okay, great. Okay, but they're not. They're pretending to literally be something they're not. And that means they lied about everything. That means, what are they not lying about? Okay, so that's why I say it. Okay, so for those that say, okay, who cares what sex they are? I care, because they're in public offices holding these positions. So therefore, that nods to they're totally okay with these big agendas that are harming us and our families and humankind, and are completely lying to you. So what aren't they lying to you about? You need to question that. Okay, if they're not presenting anything about themselves, to be honest. Okay, so you got to wonder who's that, and they're leading a country. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so we're going to ask, is that commission right now that's going to be held in New Zealand, and I think it's going forward really soon, on the COVID scam, as this person asks in the question. Okay, is that going to do any good? Is that going to wake up some New Zealanders? Is that actually going to set things in motion to take down the deep state governments there? Yes. Oh my goodness. This is going to be a good thing, people. I feel like you're already freed, although you don't know it. Okay, so many countries are like that. They believe they're still enslaved because they've got these fake governments pretending to run things, just like in Canada. But really, they're just showing you just how evil your government is. Okay, it's what the cards have been saying, and they're saying it again here. Yes, this is going to really, really be a big step towards. Okay, it's going to be a big step towards outing what's really been going on, and it'll move the bar for sure, where you get a lot, even people in denial, really thinking for themselves. Not everybody, but it's going to absolutely start the ball rolling here. And the truth is, your government's capitulated, and just a walk of shame, just like I've been getting, just like most governments in the world. Wow. Okay, good. It's a step in the right direction, New Zealanders, and that's good to know. Now let's look at the president of Spain. So president of Spain, an alarming person. Looks like an actor to me. What do you guys think? Looks like a total actor. Okay. Pedro Sanchez. I hope I'm saying that right. Okay, I don't really care if I'm not. Okay, because he's looking like a real deep stater. But is he, or is he a capitulated actor? Who's this guy? Okay, who's this guy? Okay, and you guys go look it up if you want to know what's going on over there. Go look into some Spanish truthers and news going on over there. And then share it if you find anything really fascinating. I'm just taking this person's word for the fact that the person's been doing really demonic things, but because all the governments are. Okay, the person is absolutely part of the White Hat Alliance, and this person isn't the original, whoever that was. This person is absolutely a capitulated, and or not even capitulated, I even think was placed. So I feel like a double agent, so appearing to be bad. So they're outing the bad. They're outing what these guys are all about. I actually get this person, whoever's playing the person is actually a good person, and even read into Alliance and White Hat and part of what's going to change things for the better. But maybe they're doing it through showing you what a deep state government looks like really in your face, without all the shrouding they've been doing, for so many hundreds of years, where they've been covering their tracks. They're not covering their tracks anymore. They're being out in your face, and that's how you know these guys operate in secrecy. So this has to be part of the theater, and that's what I'm getting is going on here. This person isn't a bad person. They're actually, whoever's playing that person is a good person. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating, and good to know, I'm sure, if you're from there. Okay, now the 400 or so, ostriches lost their appeal. So remember the ostrich farm? And do you remember when I looked into it? And at the time I looked into it, it looked like those ostriches were not going to die. Certainly not at the time I looked at it. And that's how cards work. We looked at it. We asked, are they going to be killed? No, they got an appeal. And it's been months later and they're still not dead. Okay, just like the card said, they weren't going to die that time when it looked like they were. Okay, now we're asking again. Okay, are they going to be culled? And what I got the first time was, the original time we looked at it was, this is all to show you just how incredibly like agenda oriented all of our officialdoms are. And this is just showing you how Canada's health, you know, these commissions that look into these things, they're absolutely frauds, and they're absolutely part of the WEF agenda, and they don't care about truth or anything, right? So all of our officialdoms are fraudulent and against humans and against anything good for humans. Okay, so they've proven themselves to be that with this whole thing. They're not looking at it from a common sense. When you read the whole thing and go read into it, there's lots to this whole story, but the common sense to it is absolutely missing. Okay, and they're trying to show you that, and I got that this whole thing was designed for that.
Some
okay,
campsites, some RVs.
Supporters are camped.
Well, yeah, supporters are camped out. Thanks. We heard a little bit of that. Okay. But we're not going to play the thing because you guys have already heard and you've seen this story play itself out. But I believe it's just trying to get your attention to, and I'm really hoping they don't really kill the birds, but maybe to really drive it home, they will. Will they actually, will these birds, what's the fate of these 400? There's actually slightly less than 400 now, birds. What's the fate of them? Okay, let's have a look at, so the stars, so they're looking really vulnerable right now. You bet. Yes, they are. And it's looking like, you know, there's a soft yes around. They might be culled, right? Because, you know, they got to prove a point here. It's going to go back and forth, you guys. It's not a sure thing that they're going to die. Okay, it's going to get stretched out and drawn out. And again, it's just really trying to show you. So it's going to go back and forth again. So I don't know what other avenues they have. Somebody's going to defend them again, who's a high profile. You know, like there's been high profile. Even Trump had a say about it, I think. If I remember correctly, do you guys remember, didn't Trump have a say? Like some high profile people, RFK maybe had a say, I can't remember. But some people had says about it who are very high profile in this political arena that we're all watching together. And so there's going to be other ones. And I feel like as this happens, more and more dirt comes out, and that's the whole idea around these agencies, these officialdoms agendas. Okay, they don't care about health, and it'll become really obvious by the time this is all done. Okay, so the whole thing is designed to just really draw this out, so we really get a good look at firsthand with everybody watching just how gruesome these agencies are. But I'm not literally getting a death of them. Okay, and the biggest thing that looks like it'll change the dial is people's interest and yelling out about it. Okay, so share this far and wide, the story about it, and get your friends involved, even normie friends and or, right, I was trying to get away from the word normie, but I do keep saying it, unfortunately. Even your like not awakened friends will find this story fascinating. It's not necessarily like, onto them it might not look as political as we know it is. Okay, so share it. That could really help these birds. Okay, so the whole idea is the more people that know about this and yell about this, and the more that'll help them decide what they're doing here. But this is a wake-up call story. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video, and do, let me know if you're seeing this on Facebook, because if you did find this on Facebook or YouTube, it was, it was stolen from the website. Thanks so much again. Bye-bye. So we're looking at the dread situation.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you were asking? Like,
Yep.
what is going on? Is
Yep.
there something going on? Well, we've got an ace in the middle. So I think yes, with that ace in the middle. It's interesting. We've got that Knight of Pentacles. That's a carefulness card. So it seems to affect our sense of, are we safe? So it feels like it's a real base, like maybe first chakra sort of feeling of we're not safe, right? So it seems to affect like us at a really base level. And I'd have to say that was true. I literally feel like fight or flight, like I'm going to be attacked or something, but I can't put a finger on what. So like a prey is after me. Okay,
Right.
so that's what that feels like. And see this 7 here, 7 of Pentacle. I feel like it's been maybe we could have things put in our environment or sent to our environment that's creating that on some level. So I feel like we might have that directed at us somehow, and it's affecting people in a really physical way. These are 2 really physical cards.
And what would be the objective? Just to put us off kilter as they're doing operations, to get us out of the way, to get us to where we can't react properly to perhaps something that's coming around? Like, what's the objective with this dread that's
I
being
think
pulled
it's
down?
the bad guys. I think
Yeah.
it's an old
program.
frequency that's been out there for a while. And see that surrender card there?
Uh-huh.
I feel like surrender to like a lot of fear went before this card, and then we're at the end of. So I feel like this is something they've been doing for a long time, and we're getting really close to the end, and it's maybe even rising, lifting, and leaving. We've gotten so used to it. I feel like maybe it's lifting and leaving us, and we're picking up on it because we're so sensitive.
Right.
It could even contribute to, it could be something they were collecting our dreaded energy through nightmares.
Oh, like loose. Like,
Loose.
yeah. Oh, wow. Well, they are
Yeah,
starving for energy. They
Yeah.
definitely are starving for energy. So they might be cranking this up to feed here.
Yeah. See that, and it's badly aspected, like an adrenochrome card.
Yeah.
So that's like their loosh. Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about the movie Monster Inc. It was describing everything.
Exactly.
Torturing children to get their scared energy, right? So they do it to humans on a low, maybe it was a low frequency because it says it's been going on for a really long time. And because it's now leaving, maybe we're sensitive to it.
Wow. Somebody's asking in the chat, can we just, where was it? Fast forward through this? Is there a way to fast forward through this, or is this essential part here of the war, Janine? What would you say?
Don't stay disappointed and focused on it. This guy focuses on the past. It's something leaving us. Okay, focus on, so when you wake up, so this is good advice actually, focus on how you are safe and what's good around your environment and not that unknown that woke you up. So focus your mind and choose to think about things that are, and that's what I do when I walk around. I walk around the house and I notice, like I am safe, like I feel safe in my environment. Like I have to talk myself into it. So I come down off of that, sort of feels like a ledge of scared.
Do you recall, I might be wrong, but I feel as though when you and I started talking about this, I started feeling this dread a little bit earlier than you. You were having discomfort sleeping and some body aches, but not so much the dread. And then you started having the dread, maybe less body aches too. What do you account for that maybe difference? Is it a location thing? Is it a personal frequency thing? What do you think that difference was?
Well, my place is being renovated, and all of my usual. So I had my place gridded with. Ashley taught me how to grid with stones.
Yeah.
So I had all these grounding stones and safety mechanism stones. I love crystals and stones. So
Yeah.
I had like various different stones placed in different corners of the house. And yeah, I just intuitively gridded my place. And all of that was taken away before renos, because, renos are disrupting everything. I got new flooring and stuff. I feel like the grid's down. And so, like, our safety mechanisms probably block that to some degree. That's what I think. And I used to have a real situation where every night I'd go smudge
Right.
around
You're outside of your routine
I'm outside.
and your typical safety zone. And on top of that, you have a lot of people in and out of the house with different frequencies, the workers, contractors.
Yep.
That could be as well. Somebody in the chat was asking, what is dread, JC? Dread is anticipating with great apprehension or fear, right? Jane was dreading the party, for example, and is an example. But this overall dread feeling, it's like this foreboding feeling that something bad's about to happen. That's the general malaise that people attach to that. Okay. Yeah,
I really think our mechanisms spiritually, that like routines that we put in place, are really important.
For sure. And
like
now maybe
altars and whatever you use.
Now more than ever, including Shungite. A lot of people in the chat are saying, use your Shungite, use your Shungite. And you know what, too? We're getting more and more of our audience members that are telling us that their cats are acting up in a weird way. Their dogs are acting up as well. I was talking to Carla about that earlier this week and said, hey, can we make some dog collars and pet collars with Shungite too? Would that help? And she's like, definitely. They're just as much affected as us, if not more, by some of these electromagnetic frequencies. So she's working on that, guys. She'll be on the show a little bit later on because she's going to give more details here to the Father's Day giveaway that she has going on here on AscensionOrganites.com. And she's going to be giving away some prizes here later this evening as well. So stay tuned for that. So in part of those weird dreams this week, Janine, so this is something personal to me, but I have the feeling that maybe it's something we needed to talk on the show. So I believe it was the Monday night or the Tuesday night. Like you, I kept waking up all night, but I was waking up with a hard stop kind of thing. It wasn't a gradual wake up at 1 and go back to sleep. It wasn't. It's like I'm awake, and then I'd sleep, and then I'm awake, like kind of like that, right? But every time I would wake up in this hard fashion, a word came through with it, and the word was limerick. Limerick. Don't forget limerick. I'm like, what the hell is limerick? I'm like, why is there somebody asking me to talk about limerick? Is this for me? What does it mean? So the next morning, I tell the story to Sarah, and she says, oh, isn't that like an English poem or something like that? Like it's a style of poem. And then so she looked it up on YouTube, and yes, that is one of the definitions, but it is also a town in Ireland. Lots of stuff happening in Ireland right now, too. A lot of it was predicted in WebBot data quite a while back. But I wanted to go to that particular town here of Limerick. Let me bring that up on the map for you guys here in Ireland. There's a connection with this town also in Vikings. So I don't know much about it, but I'm wondering, I had never heard this word before. It's new to me. And I'm wondering why this was coming up in the field, whether or not I was supposed to talk about it or not. So can we do a first poll? If you see, oh, JC, this is absolutely super personal, your grandfather's trying to say something like, okay, we'll just change the channel. But if it has something to do maybe with the community, us having to look at this or understanding this in a different way, whether it's the poem part or whether it's the town itself, the city itself, let's see here what was behind that dream, okay? Starts with the tower card. Wow.
Well, the tower, though, it's in a real personal place, so it could even be a revelation, not necessarily an external takedown or crumbling, which usually this could mean. Mm-hmm. This could more be, it was a revelation, brought to you through your subconscious mind.
Mm-hmm. Oh, somebody says Limerick is also a nuclear power plant in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Interesting. Okay. Limerick, Ireland. Okay. The poem, style of poem, a 5-line style of poem. What else do you see there, Janine? Where's this going?
Well, it's interesting because you have some kind of revelation occurred in your dream time. And the word is trying to remind you of what you were dreaming of or what revelation.
And that's the thing. I tried best I could in the morning. All I could remember was the word, but what it was associated to and why I was dreaming it, like I had a blank slate. All I could do is remember that word in the morning. Because again, every time I woke up, it's like, don't you forget this word, JC. Tomorrow you need to remember this word. I'm like, but why? What else do you have there for me, Janine?
Okay, so this card says keep it in, keep it somewhere safe. So remember the word, stash it back here. It's not ready to become you're not missing something yet. I feel like, and something around the alliance goes down there, or a real show of time travelers, alliance, or actual other dimensional activity, but based in the alliance, or something good for humanity. It doesn't feel bad. Could go down in a place, I feel like, called Limerick. So it feels more of a place to me, especially with these pentacles. We've got 4 pentacle cards, more based in a place.
Okay.
And not maybe like if it was swords, I'd say it was talking about the word.
Poems, words.
The word,
yeah.
Formation kind of thing. But it's all pentacles, a lot of pentacles, but something around. So this is an alliance card. I feel
hold on. Somebody's asking, what was the town that man came from Ireland?
Janine's boyfriend.
Yeah, what was that guy's name? The nice older gentleman. Do you remember?
Well, now my mind can't come up with it because I know. But
was it Tom? Was it Tom?
Yeah,
No.
Thomas.
Thomas. Yeah. I don't know where but he was from Ireland, right?
Yeah, he's from Ireland. I don't know if he's from Limerick, though.
Yeah. Huh.
And I think I might have been there.
To Limerick?
It sounds familiar. I was in Ireland.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask the people that took me around. We saw a lot of places in a short time.
No, it's Alan Tompkins.
Alan
Tompkins. That's it. Thank you, Carla. That's right.
Okay. Yeah. Clearly I'm a bad date type. Can't even remember anybody's name. Yeah, I'm pretty bad.
It's easy for everybody to remember our name. We have to remember 1,000 people's name.
You guys can see why I'm single. What was that guy's name again? I do love the guy, but I love lots of people.
Yeah. Hey, did you ever have a reading? He won a reading with you, right?
Absolutely, it was awesome.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Wonderful, wise person he is.
Oh yeah, yeah. I could just tell, like meeting him, shaking his hands, like, man. Well, first of all, the guy's been around. He's lived and he's experienced so many things on the planet, but he has still so much life in his eyes, and you get so much wisdom behind him. Just standing in front of him, it was just like, oh, I wish we could have more time to hear what he had to say about all of his life experiences.
Yeah.
Speaking about the conferences and people we met at the conferences, and maybe not remembering all the names, Janine and I are working on the background for the conference 2.0. And things are starting to shape up, guys. We're talking to another firm right now who's going to be helping us with the selection of the venue, negotiating all these contracts, trying to get the price down for you guys, and the date and the exact venue for you guys. But we are looking at Florida, and we are looking at next spring. And we already have almost all of the keynotes confirmed. So everybody's excited about this one. So stay tuned for that. We're going to give you more details here as things unfold. All right. Anything else you want to just do clarifiers? Anything else I need to know about this limerick thing, or maybe there's a part for that for the audience too that they need to know. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say something until all of that conversation went. Now I've completely forgot what I was going to say there.
How'd that happen?
So I think you were given a really big drop that's going to make sense down the road. It might even take till September, October. This card can be September. It's the 9th month, or October. That's the 10th month. I mean, not in the number of it, but because it's the Lovers associates itself with October. Okay, and we've got the Knight of Cups. Something's going to happen there, but it's not a bad thing, and you were given a heads up about it.
Huh.
It's a positive thing. It takes us away from, or it's some kind of leaves behind a real sadness and moves us forward to a whole new, like we're really this year, we're going through a lot of breakups in a way. We're breaking up with the deep state. We're breaking up with a whole bunch of officialdoms that no longer serve us. We'll likely break up with, the financial system in the way that it was created to keep us in debt slavery. I feel like all of that could happen this year.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll keep it in mind, and who knows? Maybe while I'm mowing the lawn this weekend, it'll come up, right? So I'll keep chewing on that and I'll report back to you guys if I hear more. Hey, Janine, is that a Sending Ravens like a coaster? Like
somebody made this for me, and I got it in my gift box.
But what is it? It's a coaster.
It's a coaster.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, we should make those.
So, I know, isn't it? Like great. This one's. I just love it. And also I got this beautiful wrap just recently. It was probably you sent it, or Sarah sent it. Was probably sent to you, so I got it really late, and I was going to wear it, but it's not cold enough. It's incredible, crocheted.
Oh wow!
Absolutely plum colored. I can't even fathom how many hours it took.
Oh, wow.
And I won't say the person's name; they didn't give me permission, but I will put on my Telegram. I got a beautiful photograph of it. And just shout out to that person. I think they watch me a lot by the sounds of the note I got. And I just got it. So forgive me if I didn't shout you out earlier. But I don't always shout out the beautiful gifts I get. But I absolutely appreciate them. And I'll have to take some photographs of my house once it's all put back together. Okay, I'll send you guys a little like maybe a little.
Do a housewarming video like we did when we had that place.
A walk around, and you'll probably see some of your things that you've sent me.
Yeah. Oh, cool. That'd be great. And folks, yes, thank you for all the gifts. Like we don't say it enough, and sometimes also you might not get news for a while because those packages keep piling up, either at the post office, and then eventually they keep piling up here. And then we hire Mira. Recently, she's been just a godsend. Mira's Aline's daughter, who makes the soaps with Aline. And she comes here from time to time now to open all those packages and redirect some of them that go to Janine, because people send it to me because of the P.O. box. And then we repackage that and we send that to Janine. So there could be sometimes a couple of months delay by the time Janine gets the stuff that you're sending her. So bear with us. But a big thank you to all of you sending stuff there through the mail. Really appreciate it. Okay. So there was... today, so let's go to that too, because it could be more than we think. And Quack House here is kind of alluding to it. Is this going towards a media blackout? So on one hand, you and I were experiencing this issue through StreamYard, which is the application we use to produce the shows and to telecast through the different platforms. But they were in fact having troubles with Cloudflare and some of the Google services as well. So the person is alluding to, hey, is that a media blackout? Is that somebody taking control perhaps of the internet behind the scene where this dropped because something's about to happen and somebody else is in control of maybe having an internet switch of sorts here? Or was that a fight for the information, or who controls some of these systems right now to not have a blackout? What's going on with that, Janine? It seemed pretty pervasive here today and scary. And so far, we don't really have any answers as to why that was happening when, in fact, they have triple and quadruple redundancies in place. So I haven't seen some reasonable, plausible explanations as of yet. What do you see?
This is interesting. I think it might have been targeting in particular, and I do think it was a targeted something. And it was targeting the Wu community, trying to keep some information from circulating. Okay,
ahead of time, or the information was already circulating?
Ahead of time.
So
see that 8? So it's just, I feel like it's just a lingering, like I feel like, and I got this in June when I did the Zodiac, I feel like there's going to be attacks on the community from different sources, and I didn't know how they would do it, but they would go directly through emails, trying to get people's attention, give them false information. They were going to really work on the Wu community. That's their last stand. Like they don't really have anything left. Mainstream media is so not working for them anymore. I mean, they're just outing themselves at every turn, mainstream media, so they're not helpful. Like all of these minions have left is to attack or infiltrate any kind of truthers they can, or shut us down. And that's what it felt like they were doing there. It was like trying to keep something from getting out, and maybe even like we're really down to the crunch. I feel like some people even think it's this weekend could be an EBS weekend. I didn't actually get that. I was thinking it was more September, October, but that's all of that is really this summer. Like
you were getting, so we kind of looked at this on the Wednesday show. And at that time, when we looked at it for this weekend, I don't want to say it was a nothing burger, but we needed to dial it down. Some other channels were making way more than what it was going to be. And you said, no, actually, it kind of looks like it's going to be positive and a celebration. It's not to say that there's not going to be riots and some skirmishes, but not to the extent of bringing down the country or words to that effect. That's what you had on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a quick repull on that? Yep. Or okay, let's do that. And then we're going to have to look at Israel here too. Breaking news, Israel is launching a preemptive strike against Iran with reports of massive explosion taking place, heard in Tehran. Iran has Israel just declared a state of emergency. So it looks like it's underway now. Trump was also warning of a chance of a massive conflict here. He, of course, a couple of weeks ago in the mainstream news, in one of the articles, had him working towards preventing an Israeli mistake, quote unquote. And when I showed that to Cliff, he says, holy shit, like that's a manifestation of language. We must be close to the end game on that scenario. So we'll pull on Iran in just a moment. But for now, Janine, we're just revisiting here this weekend, the riots, the tank or the military parade in DC. What do we need to know about that? Is there actual cause for concern, or is this kind of all in hand right now and kind of made and let to happen for some type of other purpose?
Some skirmishes, so with 2 5s, and activities going on. Like, so what they're saying is happening and what's really happening could be really different. On the surface, though, I feel like it will look like a real successful event and put Trump in a good light. Like it's going to look like he's very successful at pulling this off. You also might get a real glimpse of how popular he actually is. Like when they stop trying to tell you so many people are against him. Like most of those people are paid. They're getting paid to go out there and right. So I feel like there's a lot of gossip and innuendo. In other words, non-truths around and like what's happening. And see that card in the middle. This is what people are seeing. This is a strategy. So anything you're seeing is because they wanted you to see it, but there's a whole lot going on, and it looks like it's relating to children or infants or things to do with
networks,
protection of children.
Children
in the war.
Yeah.
war effort towards children. So it makes sense that that's going on under the surface. See that too? So Two of Swords, you're not going to see that part. So I still feel like they're doing like military operations under the guise of this big parade. But meanwhile, while everybody's eyes are on the parade, they're busy doing stuff. Could
There's
even
more
be rounding people up and stuff. Here we've got the death card, but there's still some things to happen before any kind of real public knowing of that.
Okay. Yeah, you were saying that last night too, that it would take a little bit more time. Even though those operations are underway, we won't get to see that quite just yet. Okay, so we're pretty much still on the same page then, right now, as you were yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just leave it at that. Let's go now to the breaking news of Israel preemptively attacking Iran here. Let's do a poll on that. The question is, and of course, this was supposed to be part of your Quick Draw Thursday today. We spent quite a bit of time this morning positioning that for the audience. So I've just explained at the beginning of the show what that Israeli mistake prediction was. So the question is now, are we leading towards it? Is this perhaps the last culminating events here towards that prediction, either of the events happening in physicality or some type of huge narrative that comes up in the mainstream news about Israeli mistake, and therefore everything changes after?
Okay, so this is a repeat of what I got. You and I, we looked at this. Was it last night? The night?
Yeah, on the Wednesday night, we touched it also on Wednesday. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so this card is in the past. So a yes in the past. I feel like, and this card says something's done already. And it's a facade, what's happening now. So the Israeli mistake already happened, whatever that is.
Okay.
Whatever Cliff was alluding to, it came and went.
Okay.
Okay, and then see that 5 there? So it's going to be a while before we get led in on it. We're not seeing it. It's taken our attention away from it. And the 4 is a shutdown. So they're keeping it away from. So something already happened that you would call an Israeli mistake.
Okay.
And now we've got the 8 of Pentacles. So I feel like this is going to get right to the edge again, and then not turn into the big nuclear war they're saying it is. So it'll do what it's been doing for years here. It goes right up till the edge and then backs off. That's a fear porn card. And this is the Queen of Swords here. She's very direct and like a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon that now we've got a big nuclear situation. But I get it goes right to the 80% and then comes down again.
Okay. Somebody's in the chat asking, hey, GC, has Janine done a read on the EBS lately? Didn't you have that in your Zodiac spread or in your World News just recently?
Yeah, I think the EBS will be in September or October.
Okay, not this summer. Yeah. Oh, actually, you brought that up again on the show where we looked at Israel. I said, was that leading into that weekend or the skirmishes here in the United States? And you're like, no, it looks further away, a couple of months away still.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the answer. Thank you for that. Now, going back to Israel again, if you want to reshuffle, if this is already done in the past, a mistake was done in the past, and this attack on Iran might not be what it's purported to be, when do we get to Israel being the last piece of the puzzle here? Because Netanyahu earlier, I think it was yesterday or today, he said something to the effect that if he goes down, he would bring down quite a few people with him. I'm going to see if I can find that tweet again. I think I sent you a copy of that earlier today. This one here. So I'm curious what he's talking about. Is he feeling that somehow Israel is being kept for last year in this global war effort, and that they're being left in the dust, so to speak, with all these new contracts that Trump is signing here in the Middle East? Here he says, if we fall, and that won't happen, by the way, but if we do fall, many parts of the world will fall with us. This was Benjamin Netanyahu. And Vandersteel says, oh, he's referring to the United States. This is his Epstein boomerang warning. Okay. So it's like, you guys better protect us, or else I'm going to let some information out and a lot of people are going to fall. What did he mean by that? What's that poll here you just got for us?
That was around that. What did he mean? I feel like they already fell.
Okay.
And here's who's controlling them. White hat Trump alliance. He's a controlled guy. I feel like whatever's happening in Israel already happened, and it could have been years ago or 2 years ago with that card there. Yeah. So we're being shown what they want us to see as they're letting it out, but a lot of this already happened. They fell already. I was getting that years ago, 2 years ago.
But the question would be, let me be a little bit more precise then. Yeah. When did they fall in the public eye? Because right now, it doesn't appear as though they fell. It still appears that they're dictating policy here in the Middle East and being able to be the aggressor in some cases, maybe involved with genocide in other cases, without so much as a peep from Western mainstream news. So when is it made public then that there's a change here at hand?
I'm going to say July.
Oh, shit. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty quick. Okay.
8 weeks.
Okay.
It's not quite July. Like that's just after July, I guess. So like into August. Sometime around end of July to early August.
You know, when Cliff put out the emotional data values, let me see if I can bring this back up. He gave me another one last week. I don't know where it went. Like the scroll is so long with all the news, crazy news coming up. But he took this graph, but he broke it down in segments. Military issues, political issues, religious issues, financial issues. And much to my surprise, I thought I would see a theme. Oh, it's all about the finance, and that's why we're seeing all this stuff. Or it's all about the military because we have space aliens coming. No, it was all of the above. It was turmoil in pretty much every sector that he had plotted. So, indeed, it's going to be a hot summer, and we're going to see weird stuff at every level. It appears that way, at the very least. If you're interested in this slide, guys, just go to beyondmystic.net/singularity. That was the name of the episode in which Cliff provided these. They're very helpful as we're plotting now these particular weeks here in June and into July. Okay. Something absolutely amazing happened the other day. Let me see if I can change a screen for this because we need the audio. And amidst all of the other craziness, I kind of missed it for a day or two because I saw it, I looked at it, but it didn't register. Wait, what did that guy just say? Because I'm looking at all this other crazy stuff. And again, the world is getting crazier and crazier. But it's this guy here. Listen, Army Secretary Dan Driscoll tells Fox News an astronaut is coming currently on the moon. Wait, what? So let's just play the clip. And then we'll come back for commentary. But Cliff's at the top here, and he says, you know, the woo people have been saying watch the moon here for several years now, including Janine also. So something's coming up here. So we'll play the clip for you guys if you haven't heard this, and then we'll try to decode this a little bit further.
As young Americans across the country get to see all of the amazing things that the Army has done, whether it's helping with floods in North Carolina or wildfires in California, or we talked to an astronaut yesterday who's on the moon, who's a soldier, including actually going to war and fighting to defend the freedoms that are that make our nation so great. We think this is going to be an incredible opportunity.
What? I should have led the show with that one. Like, dude, okay.
They're just sliding it in there.
It's like, oh yeah, we talked to an astronaut on the moon who's a soldier who's going to defend in this war. What, there's a war on the moon? Like, there's a lot in that phrase. But let's rewind a few seconds and listen to that again, guys. So sit back on your chair. You probably fell off. Let's listen to that one again.
As young Americans across the country get to see all of the amazing things that the Army has done, whether it's helping with floods in North Carolina or wildfires in California. Or we talked to an astronaut yesterday who's on the moon, who's a soldier, including actually going to war and fighting to defend the freedoms that are that make our nation so great. We think this is going to be an incredible opportunity for the Army to fill up our pipeline for the years to come.
Okay. Okay, that's a lot to take in, Janine, just in one phrase. Your first reaction, is this like a soft reveal? Is this guy did he just get fired for spilling the beans? What's your gut before we do the cards on this one?
It was scripted, and they told him exactly. Yeah, there's soft revealing. They've been doing it all along. Remember when they soft revealed that U.S. was under basically military law, or was run by the military? Like that was in 2020.
The transfer to military power.
Yeah.
That guy. Yeah.
I feel like it's something like that.
Somebody was saying, was it a misspeak? It's pretty precise. And it's out of context with the rest. He's just saying, hey, the military is great, man. We're doing all these things, including the guy we just spoke to on the moon who's fighting in the war to defend our American values. Like, what? Okay. So let's do a poll, Janine. Let's get a little bit more details on this one. Yeah, a lot of people are like, whoa, this is crazy, JC. Yeah.
Could that be tied into that golden?
Well, that's the thing. The advanced warning systems. Trump did say that he would have things in space, including in orbit. And I think Elon Musk and his guys were talking about the moon and Mars also having repeater stations or some advanced warning systems that would tie into this golden dome thing. But he's referring to defending in a war there already. That's not in the future. That's right now. And he's talking about an astronaut soldier on the moon currently. Let's break this down, Janine. What do you see?
So that's one of many things that they're trying to get out there. Like, so I'd call it soft reveal. Because they don't want to. So the general population, if you just told them without being kind of sly about it, they'd freak out. Right? So it's really people like us catching it. A lot of people aren't even paying attention to it, just slides right by their consciousness.
Yeah.
But when you got people that have been watching Q paying attention, and you got the woo community, like we've gone down the rabbit holes, we're receiving that. Right? Like, yeah. So they just placed it. It's literally just something placed out there. They've also left a lot of other clues. So if you look around. And they're not ready to completely back it up with the whole story yet. I feel like after tribunals, we might get, because that card looks like military tribunals. I feel like first the tribunals, and then they'll get around to telling us what's really been going on the moon and outer space.
But like everything else, they have to set it up. And this is partly setting it up for future information dumps.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Bruce Cizal, thank you, Crazy Toaster. He's been on this for quite some time, and he was suggesting in his videos, from what he saw, there were explosions. There were ship-to-ship missiles being thrown about, and he was capturing all that stuff with his crazy telescope. So clearly it's happening, and now we kind of have officialdom confirming it, although in a sly kind of fashion. The question, though, a lot of people in the chat are asking, who are we fighting on the moon exactly? Do you want to do a poll on that, Janine? Are we looking at the reptilians? Is there a new force in town? You know, what's going on? Who are these people? Are they related to perhaps that second moon we had in orbit that was announced in mainstream news last October? Who are we fighting there?
Because he didn't say an astronaut on the moon. He said a soldier, didn't he?
He started with astronaut on the moon, who's a soldier, and who's actually fighting a war to defend American values. He did say astronaut first, who's a soldier.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. You want to play that again? Hold on. Let's play that again.
Yeah.
Let me bring it back up just to make sure we're all on the same page. All right, about here.
To an astronaut yesterday who's on the moon, who's a soldier,
I spoke to an astronaut yesterday who's on the moon, who's a soldier.
including actually going to war and fighting to defend the freedoms that are that make our nation so great.
Yeah, and fighting a war. All right.
So
Who
you'd
is-
think the person he's talking to would stop them if they were any good at their job, or a real person, a news person, an
Right.
actual one. They would
Right.
stop him and go, wait a sec. What did you just say? Back it up. Did
Back
you
up the
mean-"
tape. Yeah.
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 Right? Like if that was me interviewing them, I think I would have said, okay, wait.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying
You know, that would be, you know, when I drink my water sometimes and my guest is talking, I would have spat that out. I said, what? Sorry, what did you just say? Exactly.
yeah.
Okay.
So I right away it's tying it to Trump White Hat Alliance. So I feel like they placed that guy there to say that. It
Yeah.
has something to do with why they're making this situation called the what is it called? The Globe? No,
Golden Dome.
Dome.
Yeah.
That's why I got a feeling it's something like that. See the judgment in the past? Okay, so they know that this is a big deal.
Uh-huh.
So they're just putting it out there. So like people can't say they didn't tell you.
Right.
Yeah. They've been doing a lot of that, to be honest. Okay, right in the middle. It was truth, though. The guy did not misspeak. He's telling the truth. Who are they fighting? So that's the part we're getting to.
Like said, Laura says, you cannot make this shit up. No, you cannot.
Maybe various different entities. This is dysfunctional and
That's a mixed bag.
Mixed bag, but not, and it has something to do with defending children. Maybe it's the type that use adrenochrome or want to steal humans off the earth,
Yeah. Oh.
right?
We
Like the
spoke- we
ones that
spoke-
come and harvest.
Yeah, smashing grabs there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is what Trump's been fighting, or at least who he's the front of. So he's the brand of the group that's been fighting these guys for. So this goes back to save the children, watch the children, like not just children, humans. I feel like they grab off the earth, and there's governments were compliant in it, and I feel like they had made agreements with all of these different groups. So there's a number of them, and they come and hunt or
Yeah.
yeah.
Nathalie Lavoie, JC question mark. Did I miss a question, Nathalie? No, the chat is going too fast. Let me know if I miss a question. Put it back there in the chat. Somebody said, "Hey, they took a picture of the moon and there was a craft there. They sent it to Cliff High, and he said it's at least 2 miles long." Dude, this one here, Virginia Luel. Yeah, some of the stuff that Bruce Izal was picturing too. Like these things are massive.
Yeah.
Compared to anything we have on Earth, or at least that we know we have on Earth. Absolutely. You know, when I was about to spit out my water earlier, I wanted to share this with you guys. I'm wearing right now my Pure Bulk t-shirt that Dorothy gave to me at the conference. The reason I'm doing that tonight is because they are just now launching the electrolytes. And so if you guys were in Ottawa for the conference, she was giving these away in bulk to everybody at the conference, including Pure Sleep and some other goodies. But the ones that she was giving away, I still have a few here. These were the samples because they were testing this new product at the time here. So they've been in testing for quite some months. I absolutely love the pineapple one, the watermelon one, and also the bubblegum one. But as you can see on the screen there, they have many new flavors as well that I haven't tried. I can't wait to try them. And it turns out, looking at all the studies, that we, generally speaking, as humans, are chronically dehydrated for many reasons: chemtrails, chemicals, diet, stress, all of these things. And so electrolytes are very, very important. And what's very cool about Pure Bulk everything they do is high grade and also very bioavailable. So if you look at the specs on these products compared to some other electrolytes, you're going to see a big difference there. So if you feel sometimes that you might need to be a little bit more hydrated and you have trouble being satiated just by drinking water, check it out here at Pure Bulk. If you use the coupon code JC Tasty Clear, let me see if I got that right. Let me go back to Dorothy's chat here. We had a video, but for some reason it kind of crapped out on me today. Yeah, JC Tasty Clear, you'll get 20% off here. So if you go to purebulk.com, just type in electrolytes there at the top of the page, and it'll bring you here. You'll see all of the different flavors you can choose from. And I really recommend it. It really changed my life. Since the conference, I've been on this stuff, and I feel much better. Janine, do you have also problems sometimes staying hydrated, and do you think that this could help you out?
Oh, well, I woke up, like I've been saying, I've been waking up and I'm so dry. I can't, and I try to drink water all day long. So as you're saying that, I'm making a mental note I'm going to be buying some of that.
For sure. So JC Tasty Clear, that will give you 20% off, guys. So check it out here at purebulk.com. And I'll ask Coco also to bring the links down. Actually, let me do that now. I'll bring the links down in the live chat for you guys if you're interested in that. And JC Tasty Clear for 20%. Put that on the screen for everybody here just to make sure I got that right. That one. And there you go. JC Tasty Clear for 20%. Okay. Up next, we have some prizes to give away. Of course, it's the one and only, the legend, Carla, the Shungite Master. Carla from Ascension Organites. How are you doing, Carla?
Hi, how are you guys doing? Thank you for having me.
Well, excited to have you on. Thank you for being here, Carla. Of course, in the last couple of weeks, you put up this really interesting giveaway. It's the first time we do it that way. And it was a brainchild of yours. And when you suggested it to Janine and I said, yeah, what a great idea. We never do really things for Father's Day. We do Mother's Day a lot. We do all these other promos. And you had the idea of bringing up something very special here for Father's Day. So let me bring up your website here, and I'll let you speak about that, what the genesis of the idea was, and also how people can participate. There's still a couple of days here in this big, great giveaway. Carla.
Yeah, so we wanted to do something for the Divine Masculine because we always do stuff for the Divine Feminine. So I thought the Divine Masculine needed something special for them.
We need a little love sometimes.
Yes, absolutely. We need more Divine Masculine using these products and doing more energy work. So so the giveaway is basically all you have to do to enter is make a purchase of $75 or more. And if you sign up for the email newsletter, you also get a bonus entry. And then I'm going to round up all the names of people that ordered by Father's Day. And then I'll announce the winner on June 17th. And they have, so it's basically going to be one big winner is going to get to design their own custom organite pyramid, the big ones. They can have whatever they want on it, whatever color, whatever crystal. And they also get a Shungite bundle. So I'm going to be sending them a bunch of Shungite products. And also a $100 gift card for the website. And then I'm going to have 5 runner-ups. They're going to get each a gift card and also the Shungite bundle, a bunch of Shungite products.
That's a lot of prizes, Carla. Thank you.
Yeah.
We really appreciate that. So, guys, check it out. If you're in the need for anything, of course, the Organite pyramids, the Shungite, the Haidakoi inspired silver, the Shungite silver. Do you still have some of those, or are you still making a new batch of those, Carla? Where are you on that?
We're working on a new batch of the Elite, but we have, I think there's only like 5 or 6 left of the last batch. Yeah. The
Elite went fast. Like those are the bigger quality ones. They went away pretty fast. What's your timeline on getting those back into the shop?
Maybe by the fall, because they do take. They do take a while. They're handmade, and we have.
They're handmade. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Well, keep us posted on that. I was speaking to the audience earlier tonight about our pets that are also suffering. We're getting a lot of emails that people saying, "Hey, their pets are going berserk. Their cats, their dogs." And we're like, well, we are too. We're not sleeping. We're feeling the dread. We're feeling all this electronic interference. And I said, hey, can we do something, Carla, to where we can put some shungite maybe on some pet collars for cats and dogs? And you were already thinking about that. So you've already ordered some samples for that. Talk about how you think you want to design them here for our audience members.
Well, we're looking into something that is obviously adjustable, so cats and dogs can both wear them, small animals, big animals. I'm looking to see if I can find something that can have the shungite touching their skin.
Right, as opposed to just a pendant that's not touching them. We know the field collapses when it's actually on the skin. So if we have some type of collar where the shungite, goes in back and actually touches the neck of the pet, I think would be ideal. A lot of people are suggesting, that's a great idea. We often forget our pets there too. So well, I'm excited about that. Okay. Carla, you gave me a pyramid we want to give away tonight. It is the special edition for Father's Day. Is that the one?
Yeah. Right here.
That's a big one. Okay. I was going to play the video, but that one's even better. All right.
Yeah. There you go.
Explain what's this one.
So I made it specifically for Divine Masculine for the fathers. It has blue tiger's eye, sodalite, black tourmaline, and blue apatite. So it's all Divine Masculine. If you want to go a little extra, you can pair it with the special edition for Mother's Day, and you'll have both the feminine and the masculine. But this one is for the masculine.
Okay. So, there's a lot of Divine Masculine in the chat who are saying, "Oh my God, Carla looks extra lovely tonight," and people are saying "muy caliente." you seem to be melting every time we see you and getting younger, Carla. What's your secret?
Nothing. Janine said a month ago that we needed to be in the sun, so I took her advice and I've been in the sun. That's it.
Sun Kiss is working for you, Carla. That's for sure. Everybody agrees. All right. Okay. Janine, do you have a question for the audience members to give away this pyramid tonight? What do you think?
Okay. What was this originally made for? What is it? It is somebody made it for me, and there's one word that would say what it was.
Okay. Guys, while we wait for that to populate, I hope you were watching at the beginning of the show. Of course, you can support Janine here at tarotbyjanine.com. If you are already in the Tarot by Janine community there, you'll notice that there's been some changes here in the last week. Some of them that were outside of our control. We had announced that earlier on, that the owners of that platform were making changes and moving things around, notably the community section. So it's caused a little bit of consternation amongst some of the audience members who couldn't find their buttons in the library and all that, but it's all still there. Just maybe spend a minute or two to adjust yourself to find some of those functions. There are some cases though, and this could be for the older, and by older, I mean people who have been following Janine since day one. They might have been included in an older database. And when they made this change, it made it so that you do not see the community section unless you go back and add it in your profile. That is also the case for the notifications when Janine puts stuff on the community. So if you go into your profile and you can't find that, or the box is already checked but you're not getting the notifications, then do please send Sarah an email here. She'll help you out with the tech support. But we're a couple of days into this change now, and for the most part, most of the community there has recentered itself and found the new functions there in the community chat. So thank you for bearing with us. Again, some of this was inevitable and outside of our control. We know change is not always easy, but just scroll around and you'll find everything you're needing for, and more also, because we've added some new features to that community there. And a big thank you to all of you supporting Janine there. We absolutely appreciate it. Okay, Janine, let me go back to the live chat. Let me know when to stop the feed and we'll give away this pyramid.
Stop.
My cursor is on 7th pillar coaster. That's the correct answer. 7th pillar. If you go to beyondmystic.net, at the top of the page here, just fill out the About section and the tech support button here. let us know you're the winner tonight, and we'll get that information to Carla so that she can send it out to you. While you're there, also, please peruse our pay-per-view section here. If you like the shows that we do, you can choose them one at a time here at the bottom, and you can also become an IAP member, an Insider Access Pass member that gives you access to all of our content here moving forward. While you're there, too, if you're looking for more specials for Father's Day, Andy, who was just on the show the other day, he's dropped now the junk silver at $1 over spot. The lowest price you'll ever see anywhere. So please check it out. If you're looking for silver for daddy, this is the place to go, of course. And if you're looking at some really cool soaps also, please check out floralinfarm.ca. These are Aline's creations, and there, if you use the coupon code BM10, you'll get 10% off of those as well. Why don't we give away some soaps as well, Janine? What do you think? You want to give away one of these stacks? Yeah?
Absolutely.
Those are amazing. Did you get some of these soaps already, Carla, in your home?
I did. That's all we use now. I'm running now, so I have to order more.
Are they amazing? I know.
They are amazing.
Like just the well, first of all, the smell. Like the whole house now smells like a new Zen kind of garden. I don't know how else to explain it. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah. But just your hands, how soft they are now, like the lathering, the process of this. And of course, the whole idea behind this is to remove all the toxins in your life where you have control, right? There's always toxins that we're breathing, we're drinking, we're going to the restaurant and stuff like that. But this we can control, things we put into our body or onto our skin. So check it out at floralinfarm.ca, coupon code BM10. So Carla, do you have a question? Maybe with a one-word answer, we can ask the audience members here to give away.
I knew you were going to put me on the spot. Oh, man, it's hard to think out of the top of my head. Hold on.
Well, let's make... Okay, go ahead.
Okay, what is the word that you guys were saying at the beginning of the show that you were waking up feeling?
Oh, yeah. All right. That's a good one. Yeah.
It's easy.
Somebody says live chat is frozen. Yeah. Everything is wonky today with these outages everywhere. It seems to be working on my side now. Yeah, it's still coming up. Depends, I guess, which server you're watching from. Okay. So while we're there also, I just wanted to go back to the Academy page while we wait for the answer to populate. Janine, you're just now starting part 3 of the opening psychic senses here with Meg. Explain part 1 and part 2, how much fun you had with that, and why part 3 here is going to be a killer workshop as well moving forward.
Yeah, Meg and I, like with both our skill sets, we both love astrology, but she's absolutely a pro at it. We both love, she's also a reader, and I've been doing it my whole life. So together, when we come together, I feel like we're a really good team to really help understand. We told a lot of personal stories, how we do what we do and on the daily, and how we opened up to our own personal psychic senses. And both of us came to it in really different ways. We're really different age groups. So that makes it even more interesting because, you can really get a lot of, it's almost like the perspectives, really different perspectives from different generations. So that part was really fun. Mm-hmm. And it was almost like a fireside chat. Certainly the first one was more like that, where it was a lot of personal stories. We got a little more technical and took you step by step in the second one. And we're planning on mixing it up again in the third. And I won't say exactly how, you'll have to come and see it. But yeah, it really, I feel like we're just easing you into and reminding you that you already have all of these abilities, and it's how to move into them again, how to ignite them in yourself again.
You know what was interesting? Cliff, in his Substack on May 21st, he recorded this video called Tradecraft Woo for the Woo, and he's just saying, hey, this is our new reality, and you need to start using these terms and these abilities of yours, and to really increase your muscle memory to using those abilities if you're going to be succeeding here, not just in the transition, but on the other side here where we get into a sci-fi world. So opening up psychic senses is definitely one of those trade crafts for the woo, and who better, of course, than Janine and Meg to guide you through that. So guys, check it out at the Academy here. The coupon code for that 10% off is opening 10. And you have quite a few days here to register before the actual live coming up here. So you haven't missed a beat. Check it out there on beyondmystic.academy. Okay, so let's go back to our live chat. Carla, let me know when to stop the feed and we'll give away these soaps.
Stop.
Stop. Debster, Dread. That was the right answer. Debster, I think she's won before. Send us an email and we'll get Aline to send you those amazing soaps there. And perhaps you can share that with a divine masculine in your life also here for Father's Day. Okay, and you know what happened, Janine? So let me bring this up. Last Friday, was it last Thursday? You and I were doing a show. And at the end of the show, it says, hey, let's give away some salt. And so you and I started talking about salt and how you use salt on a daily basis for your cleanses and salt baths and all that. And then we forgot to give away the salt. And so I woke up the next day. We had like 150 emails saying, JC, you forgot to give away the salt. So what do you think? should we give away some salt here tonight? What do you think?
Yeah, we definitely should.
All right. So let me find that product here on the page for Alien Salt. Yeah, there you go. So these packages here, absolutely amazing. Okay, so my turn to ask a question. What was the title of that Cliff High workshop that is similar to opening up the psychic senses? What did he call his video on his Substack? So if you want to give us that title here in the live chat, we're going to send you one of these botanical bath soak trios here. Absolutely amazing stuff in there. So essential oils, different types of salts here, different arrangements that Elaine has put together, essential oils, salts, and also botanical for the fragrances. So all of that put together makes one hell of an amazing combination for you guys. All right, the winner is WN Waltz Tradecraft for the Woo. Yeah. There you go. You're the winner. Thank you so much. Yeah, so please send me an email here at John Mystic, and we'll get that over to you. And I apologize for not giving that away last week. It was our intention, but Janine and I got carried away talking about our salt baths. All right. Janine, do you want to do a last poll before we go for the weekend? What can we accept? We've already looked at the weekend energies here, how crazy it is, but maybe just what universe wants us to know. I think a lot of us are feeling the dread. A lot of us are feeling the anxiety. We're struggling here to maybe just center a little bit here to try to traverse this period of time and to focus on what we want to create. But let's see what the universe wants us to know before we go here tonight.
Interesting. I think we all got to really watch what Trump's saying and doing this weekend. This card says judgment, so don't be sleeping this weekend on what's like all the tweets that he puts out and or social media posts that he puts out. He's some kind of drop likely. Remember the drop he did not too long ago with Obama?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a couple other like tasty ones, like with
Biden being executed, a robot, soulless robot.
Right. Like I feel like we might be treated to something.
Some more comms this weekend.
Big comms. So not a weekend to sleep. Okay. I would also say if he's putting out information about not being somewhere or being somewhere or danger somewhere, you want to pay attention. This card says pay attention. It's like judgment is the wake up call card. It says
Mhm.
whatever's going on, doesn't say what's going on. It says whatever is going on, it could change everything. So no sleeping here. And that's the Trumpet Alliance. So I feel like whatever they're doing here, even though a lot of it may be covert still, it's a big weekend for activity. And if we watch, and I bet there's a lot of really good QAnons out there keeping an eye out for us, and great truthers out there with a really good keen eye for comms and signals, and it's really helpful. Like, share what you see there, right? Share what you see, because some people just they don't have a trained eye for that,
Yeah.
right? Innuendos and yeah. And so here we've got the Hanged Man, but
Who
also,
knows? Trump might come out there and say, "Oh yeah, I spoke to an astronaut, a soldier on Mars."
yeah, right. And I
Who
feel
knows?
like they're dropping big info. Okay,
Yeah.
see this Hanged Man?
Yeah.
So the Hanged Man is, even though it's difficult, putting yourself in a difficult position for enlightenment. We've all been doing that. This whole situation feels really difficult. We're the outcasts. We're, the foolish ones at the dinner table, on Thanksgiving and all that kind of stuff, right? Like, I feel like we've all been doing this. Okay. And, but there's even more dread coming our way, and we're going to have some attacks that'll feel like, so a lot of people might be feeling that dread that Jean-Claude and I were talking about this weekend, and a lot of people might be feeling unnecessarily, though, ramped up tension. So be aware of that and maybe back off and do something else, because it's like manufactured somehow.
Mhm.
It's all those bad guys have left. They're just
Mhm.
shooting us negativity.
Yeah.
So just be aware of that. And going forward, try to focus on your own, version of reality. That's important. And literally your literal space around you. So when you're feeling something that makes no sense, that's when I walk around my house and I don't see danger, and I don't see any reason for the danger. I recognize and tell myself, this was manufactured and sent to me. This isn't mine. So we might have to really practice that this weekend too.
Okay. Very good. That's great advice. I wanted to give away one last prize. I forgot.
tiếp tục vào. Tách tách như Hoàng ơi.